Welcome to Ark Survival Ascended. We are in Ragnarok. The map dropped about 2 weeks ago. They've dropped a couple of patches since, just for stability and a few quality of life changes, so I thought it'd definitely be time to go ahead and do a series. This was everyone's, well, not everyone's, but a lot of people's favorite map during Ark Survival Evolved, myself included, so I've been looking forward to this for quite a while. Oh, we made a friend already. Let's ditch him for the moment. So what we want to do, our plan with this episode is to get the beginning stages, as I get a level up there, is to get into the beginning stages of a kibble farm. Now, before we can do that, we've got to get a basic base of operations set up, and then we can actually start expanding it. Before we can do even that, we need to get a few levels up, and we actually need to get some tool upgrades. I think we've ditched the Dillo for the moment. Let's go ahead and level up. All right, I'm gonna want weight because we're gonna be carrying some equipment. These are crates in a lot of the starting areas for Ragnarok. Let me get a little bit further over just so I know I'm not gonna get jumped while I'm explaining it, but this is where we are on the map. This is Viking Bay, which is one of the most common starting areas. We're a little bit to the west of that, near the blue obelisk. So the obelisk right over there, you can see the light going up to the sky right there. So I wanted a starting base near the obelisk because I want to have an easy time transferring dinos back and forth once we actually get to that level. We're nowhere near that stage right now, but we're going to be in position for it once we are. A lot of people will go over to the highlands, or a lot of people like to, but the weather over there, right now, you're still in kind of the naked and afraid phase of Ark, and the weather over there is cold enough that it's really hard to actually survive. You can get gear upgrades in the starting areas, and a lot of people don't know that in the highlands you can get them there too. So like this cave entrance right here, if you go a little bit south, like right around there, there's like 6 crates that'll give you metal gear. But where we're at, there's probably like 100 of these crates. That's these things right here. Once we start cracking these open, it's actually going to give us some metal tools. So for that, we're going to need a pick. So let's go ahead and build a pick. What I'd like to get is a full set. It won't give me a metal pick for whatever reason, but it will give us a hatchet. It'll give us a crossbow. It'll give us a pike. So we'll get a few spare hatchets. We may or may not keep the bow. It'll give us bows, like a regular primitive bow, and those are kind of nice to have, and it'll give us a whole bunch of arrows. Here in a minute, we should be able to get some swords from one of these too. There we go, now we got a pike. Let's head down the beach. I do want to kill a few things and grab some meat and some basic supplies and maybe get ourselves some clothes, and then once we've done that, we'll head over to our first building spot. I'll even show you on the map. It's going to be just a second, but we're not going very far. But right around here, there's a nice flat plateau nearby the water where we can build, and we've got plenty of room. There's like 2 different areas right over here. One's a big wide open area that we can do the taming, that we can do the kibble farm in. Another one's a big wide open area where we can build like a huge crafting and storage base. So we've got all the room we're gonna need for a main base. Let's kill some stuff off and get some meat and hide. All right, let's get ourselves, we gotta spend a few points. Let's get ourselves a campfire. All right, let's see if we can get lucky and get one of these guys. Like, what does this guy want? A mejoberry? All right, let's see. I don't think we'll be able to tame him all the way up, but let's see if we can get lucky. Oh my God, what is he? That got him to 90%. Ugh. So we're gonna wait until he's hungry again and see what it is that he wants. It's probably gonna be something ridiculous and we're not gonna be able to tame him, but that would be actually pretty awesome if we can get one of those guys. Oh, that's a really cool color. Like, what level are you? Okay, so you're relatively low level. I think we're gonna tame you. I think, Bola, I keep forgetting what level Bola is level 9. All right, so we still got a few more levels to go here. Yeah, see, now he wants a rare mushroom for that last item slot. It's just, we can't. Not something that we have yet. Although, if we see one of those that's lower level, like that was level 60. Oh, hang on, there's one right over here. Let's see if we can get lucky. I doubt it. Put a rare flower. Oh, we do have that. We just picked that up on the leaf, on the beach. There we go. All right, so he's not the greatest at getting berries, but he gives us a lot of fiber, which is nice because we're gonna need tons of that. All right, let's get the fire going. I think what I would actually like to do, just because I want to be able to tame a couple of these guys before we head over, let's go ahead and build just a basic little storage hut so that we can put some items here right near the obelisk. Alright, so the question's gonna become, can I knock you out in the time that my bola is holding you? I'm not entirely confident, but we're gonna try it out. I'm only going for this one because I actually like the color. Alright, I gotta be sure not to hit the baby, because that will aggro everyone else. And unless they've changed it, I don't think his buddies will help him out at all. They usually just run away. Yeah, I don't know. There he is. Beautiful. Let's get our berries and we'll get you started. Alright, so that's kind of perfect. So that means we can go after all the rest of them too. So we'll get ourselves like 6 or 7 of these parasaurs just to help us get started. Alright, what level are you? Level 20. Okay, perfect. Now I need to be nearby when the other one tames because I want the baby as well. Really? They do help each other. I didn't know that. Alright, well fine, I'll just kill you off then. Alright, he's gonna run away though. Dang, you got some hit points. Okay, so now we'll go back to capturing you. You know what? We'll let you run away for now. Let's head back to the other one. How far along are you? Yep, you're doing fine. Oh, there we are. All right, Bola. Wow, since when are these guys aggressive? All right, well, fine, you want to play it. Well, good for them. They actually learned to stand up for themselves. I don't remember that in Evolved. All right, any more of them around? I don't think so. And we will give you the rest of them. And get you and your cub tamed up. So that's gonna be 4 of these. They're low level, but they're meant to just carry stuff. We're gonna go after these turtles at some point too. That's what's really gonna start our kibble farm, but we're not gonna think about that yet. So let's give this a couple minutes, we'll get these guys tamed up. Alright, let's go get you. And where did your... Oh, I missed it. Where did your cub go? Hopefully... Oh, there it is. Come here. Get your tail out of the way. There he goes. That's who we want. Oh, missed. Perfect. Oh, wait a minute. I think you're the one that, Yep. There we... Wait, what the hell was that sound? Anyway, come on over here. Join the party. Alright, we're getting towards nighttime, which is fine. I'm just gonna do some work around here. Once we get to morning, then we're gonna take our little army here and head west. We need to get to the top of essentially those hills right there. There's a nice flat plateau on the other side of those hills where we're actually gonna build our more permanent base. Yep, I've been exploring along the ridges here, and there is absolutely no way. I can get across this, but there's no way I'm gonna bring a whole pack of parasaurs there. The only other route would be to go the long way around, which, that's the area we're trying to get to right over there. I'll show you on the map. Some of you guys who've played this map before are gonna be familiar with it, but this is where we're at. Right where the arrow is pointing is where we're trying to go, which is right over there. There is a pathway to go through here and all the way around, so you kind of get around this little lagoon here, but the issue is there's plenty of predators that usually spawn in there. So, I mean, there's nothing serious. It's going to be raptors and stuff, or even worse, maybe some therizinosaurs, but we're just not likely to get through there until without better dinos, which we don't actually have. So, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to head back. I'm going to get these parasaurs down by the coast, because I do want to hang on to them, because I need eggs and I need the gatherers. But beyond that, we're gonna head over there by ourselves and get this base started. We'll probably have to get a few levels up, get ourselves a raft built, and go over there and get them. Alright, so we're gonna want to find a spot where we have a lot of space. We're gonna build a raft, or we're gonna make it relatively large. But we're going to... It's not gonna be a permanent structure. I'll show you what I mean. So, like, we'll get it out here. That's our raft. But that's not going to be big enough. What we want to do is we want to do 3x3 foundations. We don't really have the materials or the levels to do stone, which is what you want. So we're just going to do it out of thatch for right now, just so that we can get some surface area basically to transport all of our stuff over to where we want it to be. And it won't take us that long to go ahead and replace the foundations with stone once we get to that stage. We've got plenty of materials, so we're gonna need, what are we gonna need? A ceiling. I think we need like a quarter wall and a pillar is what we're gonna need to do what it is that we're attempting to do. So we're gonna need wooden wall and door frames. We don't need that. We need the quarter. We need the railing. Yeah, there we go. Let me see if I can do this correctly on the first try. We're gonna put the sail down. Options, hide the sail. Let's go a little bit further out just so that I have some space. And then we're gonna use the pillar, we're gonna use the ceiling, and we're gonna use the quarter wall. Alright, so we're gonna wanna get our pillar centered. Okay, we'll go a little ways out just so that we can get as much to the front of the raft as we can. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but I would like to get as close to center as possible. So if I go like this, then it's gonna have me go up and down. And we wanna go until the arrow, till I can just barely see the arrow. There we go. So that's our pillar. We'll do our roof. We'll do the quarter wall. Ay, come on. Get it to snap there, and then we need our foundations. Again, we're just using thatch for now. Obviously, that's not going to be what we keep. Oh yeah, let's pick everything up. Let's pick up this wall, because that's what it's trying to. Pick up the quarter wall, pick up that, pick up the pillar, and let's see if we can actually get this to work the way we want to. And we did. The point is to stick a foundation down. Oh yeah, and then we're gonna need some steel. Okay, so we're doing good so far. There, and we can still grab this in spite of there being a foundation there. We're gonna do 3 more, and then we'll do some ramps, and then that'll be it. We'll have a basic raft built for the moment, and we'll replace it for stone in a bit. And there we go. So we've got ramps. It'll be easy to get up here. Let's go ahead and bring all of our dinos over, and we'll be on our way. Oh, no, don't go. Why? Why did you do that? Now I gotta come get you. But we're good. And we got everybody on first try. Nice. Alright, let's head out. We're not even going that far. There's literally like a little cave right over here with a nice little alcove and an oasis that we're heading to. It's right below where we want to go. Yeah, as you can see, shark infested. There is a 0% chance we would have made the swim over to here. And I don't know if I can actually sail through here, and I don't care if I beach the thing. We're gonna replace half of it anyway. And there we go. So, we're gonna head in this direction. Alright, everybody, follow me. Alright, so we have arrived. This is the plane that I was talking about. It looks like we've got 1 or 2 stragglers that are probably still over by the raft, but we're not gonna worry about that right now. So, this on the map it's literally not that far away. The reason I like this spot is you've got a nice, once I clear all the foliage out of here, you've got a nice wide open space to build. Plenty of room to do anything you want. When you head over into this direction, you've got a second completely wide open space on the top of these hills here. Yeah, here we are. So we've got this other extremely flat area, even closer to the obelisk. And you can see our guys are right over there, maybe about 170, maybe 200 meters away from the main base. This is actually where we're going to start building our kibble farm. So we'll have it in 2 sections. Like I said, we'll save on frame rates that way. But let's go ahead and get started on our base, and then we'll start getting ourselves some turtles. Now, as I've been gathering, as you can see, I've actually spread out all of the raw meat that we did. I think I have probably about 200 to 250 of them here, and it should all spoil. Oh, perfect. So there we go. 288 spoiled meat. We're going to use that for narcotics. Now, obviously, that gets us, we're running short on raw beef at this point, so we'll have to restock on that. But this is kind of more important. If we can get a whole bunch of narcotics going, that's going to really boost us. Just gathering, I've gotten to about level 24. As you can see, that gets us into, stone construction. So I've already gotten a whole bunch of the foundations, the ceilings, all that stuff. So we kind of have all the building blocks ready, or most of them, to start actually constructing our base. So let me get a few more resources. The last thing that we're gonna wanna get before we really start building is gonna be a, where is it here? A metal pick. So if I head over, we need this right here. We already got a bunch of these from the crates themselves, but those crates won't give you any hatches. So won't give you any picks. So we need to build ourselves a couple of metal picks. That'll accelerate our gathering that last little bit, and we'll be ready to go. So let me go grab some metal, and we'll do that. All right, so we're into the next day, and the rain has actually stopped. I can actually see we're about 8 in the morning at this point, so the weather's actually kind of nice. I'll kind of show you the work that I did overnight. So like I said, we've gotten this temporary shelter up. I don't have enough resources to finish it, but I'm not super concerned with that right this second. We'll do that before the end of the episode. But we've got a lot of our basics built here. We've got a preserving bin with a lot of our seeds and some of the more, perishable items that are in here. We've gotten a campfire going. I've got everything cooked right now. We're actually going to need a little bit more meat. So we've gotten ourselves a mortar and pestle with a bunch of narcotics. We've got the forge up and running. We've got a smithy. We've got a couple of beds in case we die, and we'll have an actual place to respawn. We've got, for our dinos, it looks like I lost one along the way, so one of the juveniles is gone. I genuinely have no idea where it went, but I've got 2 of them left. This one, oh look, he actually did just finish. So he hadn't finished before, but he did now. Okay, good. So let's get you a little closer to here. So we ended up with, instead of 5 parasaurs, we wound up with 4, which were okay. We still have the moss chops. Now, I want to, like I said a little while ago, I do want to get out and grab some. We need to get some, geez, I can't even think right now. We need metal is what we need, as much of it as we can get. But before we do that, oh, and we actually have a feeding trough over here so we can feed all of our dinos. I haven't got a clue why he climbed all the way up there. They do that in this version of the game. When you take them off of follow, they wander sometimes 10, 20, 30 yards away. I don't know why do they do that, whether that's intended or if that's some kind of a bug. But anyway, so we've got a bunch of arrows made and we have tranquilizers. So before I set out to go search for metal, I want to get some tames started. There should be a bunch of turtles around. To get started on kibble, we need regular kibble. That's kind of a nice mid-range for a ton of the higher end herbivores, and including like a dodeca, ankylo, stuff like that. It just makes it a hell of a lot easier to tame. So for those, you need turtle eggs, and there's a million turtles around. So let's go ahead and get some trank arrows. Let me get the narcotics out of here. So let's get some, wrong thing. Let's get some trank arrows, and we'll get a few turtles started. See, there's one right over there in the taming process, and we can just let them sit while we're out shopping for metal. I want to get, let's do maybe 50 arrows at this point. I don't want to spend them all. We're eventually going to be getting, we're getting into the 30s. So like right now I'm at 36. We're almost ready to get a pteranodon. And once we've gotten that, we'll be airborne. We'll be able to have a look around. But we want a pteranodon. And then I think once we get into the 50s, let's see, an RG, oops. I can't spell. Yeah, Argentavis is 62. So by the time we've got all of our metal and we've gotten our structures built, that should get me close enough to 62 to have an RG saddle, and then we're definitely in business. But let's get these arrows built and let's find some turtles. Yeah, here we go. All right, what level are you? Just so I get a heads up. 130, ah, crap. Well, I mean, we'll be able to knock it out, but it's gonna take forever to tame, but that's okay. And I don't want to take it near the parasaurs. Well, I actually do, to tell you the truth. We just gotta make sure we don't get hit. Because I wasn't smart enough to set them to passive, so they'll try to, oops, that hit his shell. They'll try to defend me. Nope, I want you to go the other way. they're slow and they're weak, but, you know, they're beefy. Yeah, so 1.6% per berry. We just put 100 berries in there. We should be good to go. We'll come back and check him in a bit, but I don't think we're gonna need anything additional. His taming should go up a lot faster than the torpor bar. It already looks like it is. And that's another level. All right, so I've been going to movement speed. In the end, I want to get to about 130% movement speed, because that'll mean I can run. I individually will be able to run faster than most things. What are you? Because you would actually be kind of nice. Well, we're not going to think about you yet. But yeah, here in a minute, we might be going after a trike. There we go, 25. I like you. This is female, and what are you? And female, 145. Look at this. Oh, look, we've got compies. Come here. Does that say +1? It does. Okay, are you the 25 or the 140? You're the 25, okay. Let's go after you. Now the turtles do tend to help each other. But let's see if we can stretch it. Yeah, see, the other one's coming over. I'll do it, although I feel like I'm wasting a ton of arrows. We'll do it anyway. Shoot you in the butt a couple times. There we go. Alright, so it's gonna take about 20 arrows. Let's get started. Really? Are we actually gonna run out of arrows? I mean, we can craft more. It's not the end of the world, but... Oh, we got another turtle here. That one went down. Alright, so we'll give it a minute. Depending on the level, we're probably gonna need more arrows. I mean, unless this is like super low level. Alright, so he's already running away. Let's get you started while we're here. Yeah. Did he go down? Oh, look at that! We had just enough. I got one arrow left. That's nice. You know, if you look at where he's at right now, he might actually be stuck. I'm gonna try something. Yeah, because he would normally be wandering around. So let's do this. Let's get some foundations. Or let's get some of these wooden. Now, he'll be able to break these. Yeah, he's thoroughly stuck. Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, let's get to work. Okay, we're gonna go here. Here. There. There. And there. And then we're going to go like that. And there we go. Now the only thing he might be able to do is head out that direction, but not anymore. And that's it. Okay, perfect. Alright, so now what we gotta do is we gotta get him knocked out before he manages to break the wall, but I don't think it's gonna be even close. Now, if you hit him in the face, you're not gonna be able to do anything. Let's get to... we wanna get him kind of in the shoulder. I can barely see him. Yeah, see, you hit him in the head like that. I'm guessing about 10. See, if I wasn't lazy, I would have built it out of stone. so we're fine. And there he goes. Life is easy. Alright, so at this point, we've got 3 of the turtles over here. There's one, the 4th one is still finishing up because it was high enough level, and the trike is still finishing up. So what I'm gonna do is, while we're waiting for that, I'm gonna head over to the next section, and I'll kind of show you. I mean, it's gonna be a big complex, so I'm not gonna be able to finish it right now, but I'll kind of show you my plans for the kibble farm. Alright, so we're back on this ledge. And I think what we'll do is we'll start right on this section here. I use this section because it's relatively safe. Like I can isolate, I can isolate all of the dinos and really just post like 5 or 6 guards and then we're done. So that's why I like areas like this. I like little like higher hills or peninsulas. You still get some of these like itchies that are around, like these kind of seagulls, these big pain in the butts that are flying around. So those become a hassle, but I can get some RGs set to either aggressive or neutral to start going after them. But let me clear out some of the brush and I'll show you what this is gonna look like. Alright, so we've got everything mostly cleared off. I'll have to go through and do a better job on the brush. But this is essentially what we're gonna start doing. We're gonna build a platform here, and we'll give it a little bit of space from the edge so that we've got some room. Okay, so uneven terrain, but this is our 6 foundations here. Essentially, what you're gonna end up having is about 6 turtles that are gonna line up here with ramps leading down so that the eggs will fall down and we can collect them. Alright, so we'll get some railings put up here, if I can space them correctly. Obviously, this is gonna hold everything in place and it'll make sure I don't go flying off the edge here. So you can see it. I mean, this is the beginning of our complex. Like I described, you're gonna house a lot of different things. The turtles are gonna go up here. It'll eventually be a couple of floors. So you'll kind of see this begin to spread, and I'll start getting an area in for all of the different types of kibble. And it's gonna slowly start to spread in this direction, stretching towards the main base. That's still gonna stay separate though over there. That's going to be most of my crafting and my storage. This is just going to be egg collection and really just cooking, to tell you the truth, is what we'll have stored over here. We're gonna have a totally different section for vegetables. We'll have a greenhouse, probably closer to the ocean, so I have easy water access. But anyway, we're getting towards night, so I'm gonna call it here. Next episode, we'll build up this complex a little bit more, but what I really want to do is maybe take the trikes out and start heading into the mountains and exploring. There's a few more tames that we want. We'll see if we can get airborne and see if we can get some metal and just see what this map has to offer now that they've made all these changes. But again, I do thank you guys for watching. We've got the sun in the background there so you can barely see me. Sorry about that. But thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you on the next episode.